Hello, and welcome to the Galloping Gurus, your home for daily horse racing analysis, race previews, and expert insights. If you enjoy our content, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an update. Or for even more in-depth analysis, join the Galloping Gurus membership club at gallopinggurus.com, where you'll receive our exclusive race analysis before the markets even open, giving you access to our thoughts ahead of the day's racing. It's all about getting that value, and if you get it the day before, then you'll certainly be getting exactly that. Ciao, ciao.
Hello.
Hey, mate.
Right.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. You?
Yeah, not too bad. Taken a bit of a beating over the last couple of days, but there we
Yeah,
go. That's racing, unfortunately.
certainly is.
I don't. You got nothing for today anyway, have you?
No, the old Sunday racing, not my favourite.
No, I'm not taking any notice of it really, to be honest with you today. I mean, obviously, I'll be hoping that our one that we've, tentatively stuck out will hopefully go well. But
Yeah, it should have a good chance, really.
you'd have thought so. Yeah, it's yeah. Hopefully. Should we go to tomorrow's?
Yep.
You might have a bit more at Windsor than me, so I think we'll if we start at Windsor, that'd be good. I've got nothing down to the 7:18.
7:18. Just running.
Or
Yeah, I don't think I do. I thought, well, actually, only a very small interest in the 6:48. It was Torbados.
yeah,
I fancied him at Wolverhampton when he got the wide trip the whole way round. Obviously ran badly in doing so. Then he was second behind my old mate, I think, here last time.
yeah,
Yeah. Obviously my old mate thrashed him. He beat him by 4 lengths. Cresciente was third. It wasn't the best race in the world, but it was an okay run round here. He's likely to go forward. I think he'll run well. I wouldn't be like, he wouldn't be a banker for me, that is for certain.
no.
But the Charlie Hills yard are in good form.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah, it's not often we say
Yeah,
that.
no, they're absolutely flying. And I mean, Buckland Bell's in there, who I think we've got a massive disliking for, really. Very consistent, isn't it?
Yeah,
It certainly can't crab its consistency, but now it's edged its way up towards 60. I think life certainly is going to be tougher. It's generally been ploughing its furrow in bad races, and there's not too many in really good form in the race. So I thought the runner Torbados last time would give him a chance. He's probably going to be shortish, which means I wouldn't back him, and I certainly wouldn't advise anyone to back him at a shortish price.
no.
But if you want an interest in a race, that would be the one I'd go for.
Yeah. Okie dokie. All right, well, we'll move on to the 7:18, where, quite frankly, I only have something to talk about really because it's it's a little bit I don't want to call it guessy because I think it's interesting, but I've said that Star Obsession is a Frankel filly, first time in a handicap off a marker 63 for William Haggis, tongue tie on first time and as a high profile owner. So after 194 days off, I'll be interested to see which way she goes in the market because they don't normally keep low rated horses in training, and the owner will want her to win for breeding purposes. forecast to be 4. So just thought it was an interesting one, tongue tie first time. In a bad race, the Haggis Yard don't have too many rated 63 in their yard, do they?
No.
You would imagine that they've kept her for a reason in training. So I'd just be interested to see how she went. That was all.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. I mean, breeding wise, she's bred for
Yeah,
longer distances, isn't she? So
yeah,
the step back in trip is
yeah,
unusual,
yeah. She must be showing
to say the
something at
least.
home that gives them that impression, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be rushing to bet her or anything, but I'll certainly be interested to watch.
Yeah.
Have you got anything else in there to talk about? Or?
No, nothing in that race. No, I didn't
Okay.
like it at all.
All right. 7:48. I've said Just Jump is a course and distance winner. 3 starts back with Rosser booked. Looks a strong contender back here, having fluffed his lines at the start at Lingfield last time out, giving the field a good start. He travelled strongly throughout at the back and even got hampered when just starting to make his move when some 10 to 12 lengths behind the leaders and did, in my view, tremendously well to finish in third, only beaten 2 lengths. Forecast to be 7-2. Just thought it was interesting with Rosser on. I expect you're with Darkened Edge, aren't you? The treble Gina and your favourite trainer.
No, I thought Just Jump was the interesting one, really.
Yeah.
Darkened Edge obviously has a chance, but it's going to be favourite more than likely.
Yes.
It almost certainly will run its race. That's one thing you can say about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And it'll cause anything else to have to run up to its form
Yeah.
to beat it. But Just Jump would be the one I'd like. It was a pretty good run the last day. The fourth has won since Ballon d'Or. We gave that a little mention when he won.
Yeah.
So the form isn't too bad there. My big worry is the starts.
Yeah.
I mean, he keeps on making a mess of them, and you just can't keep getting away with it. Like, he refused to race 4 runs back, which
Yeah.
as soon as a horse does that,
Yeah.
you've always got to have it in the back of your mind that it can do it again. And when they start slowly, it's just a massive worry.
Yeah.
So if Just Jump managed to get out pretty much on terms with them, I don't mind it being held up, missing it a length or two.
No.
Then I think it'd have a big chance. But there is a big asterisk there of what happens when it comes out of the stalls, and if it comes out of the stalls.
Yeah. I think I don't think it liked Dougie very much that day, which is why he refused. He said, "No, that's it."
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I totally agree with you. There's been 3 times that after that he'd been a bit slow away. I think that the reason why they've booked Rosser is to, obviously give him the office, and I'm not saying that it can't happen with Rosser on board, but I would imagine they're throwing the kitchen sink at him. Um, the run at Lingfield I thought was almost remarkable, to be honest, because the fact to give away lengths at the start, but then got hampered just when he was making his move, and the others were, like I said in the spiel, 10 to 12 lengths are clear of him. In fact, he's managed to get within 2 lengths of him was ridiculous. So, like you say, if he gets out on terms, or even a length or 2 behind, must have a huge chance.
yeah. If he's out on terms, I would fully expect him to win, really.
Yeah,
But that is a worry.
yeah,
That's the only thing, isn't it? It's just
absolutely. Yeah,
it's hard enough trying to find one to win without worrying about how it comes out the stalls.
yeah. Okay,
But yeah, that would be my selection there anyway.
yeah, mine too. Okay, I've left the resident Musselburgh professional to you. I know that you love Musselburgh. You've probably got plenty to
Yeah,
come here. I've got nothing.
yeah.
So if you've got anything, wheel away,
Got
mate.
well, I've got one to certainly talk about, and I suspect it probably will be favourite, bearing in mind what I'm about to say. But the 345, um, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that Blakefell must have a big chance here.
Hmm.
Short-headed when gambled on at Kempton last time by Victory Ace.
Yeah,
The pair were, what was it, 3 lengths clear of Angel Gabriel in third. So they pulled clear. They've gone for a gamble. It's been thwarted by a horse that's probably got about £15 in hand.
yeah.
I mean, Victory Ace then runs a week later, and to say bolted up would be an understatement.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Um, so that form for Blakefell for me, he's gone up £3 for that. But bearing in mind what Victory Ace has done the next start, I think this has got quite a good chance really if he replicates that run. He's won here at Musselburgh over the 7. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that was only a maiden, but still, at least he's done that. He ran over 1 mile the time before the Kempton run round here, when sent off favourite. Probably just a little bit too far for him, bearing in mind how heavily bet he was back at 7 furlongs at Kempton. They seemed to know they were going to see a better Blakefell that day.
Yeah.
The worry is drawn in 9, but Jason Hart, I would imagine, will fire him out.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. What you thought they were going to do with him? Because obviously he at Musselburgh over the 7, he raced in second and was fairly prominent. And then strangely at Musselburgh over the 9 furlongs, he seemed to be held up a bit. And then last time out, obviously he was fairly prominent again. So I was going to say, do you think they'll go prominent with him? And you've answered it already.
I absolutely do. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they probably wanted to hold him up over 1 mile to help him get the trip,
Yeah.
which I'm never really a fan of, to be honest. Run the horse the way he likes to be ridden
Yeah.
and see what happens. I mean, if you're running him over that trip, quite obviously you think he will stay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not running him over 1 mile thinking, well, this won't get home,
Yeah.
because otherwise, what on earth would be the point of that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would expect Jason to be relatively active out the gates, try and get across, sit, either make it or sit one back.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually looked to see what price he is going to be, but I mean, if he ran up to the form of last time, that wouldn't be the worst price,
Yeah.
because none of these I don't think have got as much in hand as Victory Ace had in hand that day.
No.
And the fact they gambled him, they're massively unlucky to get beat. They really are.
Yeah.
I couldn't see where the money was coming from that day.
No.
I didn't give it much chance, but yeah.
Okay.
So it is a competitive race still, but I'd be very interested to see how Blakefell went.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it for Musselburgh, is it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Well, we'll jump over to Brighton, where I've got most of what I had to say really today. Didn't think.
Well, that's lucky because I didn't have a lot. So
Wow. Okie dokie. Well, here we go. That's a bit of luck then. You had the stuff at Musselburgh, and I had a few bits here. I've said in the 230. I've said No Goes Dream and M4 would be the two at prices I'd be interested in. No Goes probably would be first choice, with Billy booked, dropped in grade, having ran in class 2s, 3s and 4s. Since his last win, which was in a class 3, he's ran once here at Brighton and finished second, so he should be okay on the track. He's placed 5 times in higher grades than this since his last win, so his chance is there for all to see, and Billy was on him for 2 of those. He should find things slightly easier and have a fair chance at a forecast price of 4s. said M4 is also dropping in grade, having been running in Class 4 since his last win, which was an easy win off this mark of 74 in a Class 5 at Wolves. He doesn't have form. He does have form on the turf, and most of his wins and places have been over 6 furlongs. There's a strong pace forecast, and if they burn themselves out, he'll be staying on. Best of all, forecast to be 8s. So yeah, I thought No Go's probably had a bit of a fair chance there. There's only 6 runners. Billy's on. Quite a bit actually. Richard Hughes books Billy these days for ones that he likes reasonably. And I thought that the forecast favourites, Secret Handshake, South Shore, have been winning worse races than this, and No Go's would have a bit of a chance there. And so there we go. That's my thoughts there on the Brighton 230. Did you have anything else in there to talk about? Or
Not much. No, I've got bad history with old No Go's Dream. He's one that's lured me in many a time. And the thing with him is he will win if he wants to win. The old No Go's. He's got all the ability. He's got more ability than this lot, and more ability than the Marker 74.
yeah,
Sometimes he does quite like being the old bridesmaid. That's his problem.
yeah, but
But yeah,
maybe the drop in grade and running against these lesser horses, he'd have a bit more of a chance.
yeah, certainly. I mean, I don't think he'd be too worried about old Secret Handshake.
No. I don't.
So yeah, I can certainly see it.
Yeah, okie dokie. And then I have written about in the 330. I think this is interesting. Blue Anthem, I think, is the horse that this race revolves around. This horse was with George Bowie last year, and Billy has previously ridden him plenty, won on him twice, and placed plenty of times off much higher marks than this. He won off 70 and placed in the mid 70s. The horse is now housed in Ireland, so the fact they've brought him to Brighton and booked Billy with the visor on first time is interesting. He's had a short break and he likes that, and it's a long way to come to not be in the mix. Forecast to be 8s. I think probably more likely 4s. So I think it's a really interesting move that these Irish guys have brought this all the way over to Brighton, giving it a little break, does like that, and booked Billy, visor on first time. So, I mean, I think that's got a little bit of interest to it there. So we shall see what happens there. I don't know if you had any thoughts on the race at all.
No, not too much. No, like you, it is interesting. If he turns up on his A game,
Yeah,
quite simply, he'll be heading back to Brighton, back to Ireland, a winner, won't he?
yeah. I mean,
If they have and visor on first time, sort of tells you, signals their intent, doesn't it?
yeah, and why book Billy, especially for a horse that he's got a lot of previous with? I think that's pretty interesting that they've gone to the trouble to book him, and yeah,
Yeah, the last time it was seen over here, it was second at Wolverhampton, wasn't it? So off a mark of 73.
yeah,
So less than a year later, rocking up off of 57.
yeah, exactly. Plenty of turf form as well there, and like I say, Billy's got plenty of past form with the horse, so I would imagine they might be happy to be uh, reinstated together. And I've got to be honest, mate. I'm definitely at this present point looking for good jockeys, particularly one. You know, we're talking here that Billy's trying to win the Jockeys Championship, things like that, and you know, ultimately, I think if I can see horses that I think he's got fair chances on, I'm certainly happy to give them a bit of a chance. Over the last few days, I certainly feel like I've had a few nasty rides, to be honest. So I'm fairly
Yeah,
happy.
I mean, it happens a lot more when there are these big meetings on as well. And if you're playing at the smaller meetings,
Yeah.
you're a hostage to fortune as far as a jockey goes, aren't you?
Yeah, can be. Yeah, that's for sure. And if you see a decent jockey turning up at them, it's pretty significant, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, when you see certain bad jockeys having 4 or 5 rides on a card when they normally have one in every 3 days, you think, oh,
Crikey.
something's gone awry here.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so 4 o'clock, Brighton. No, I must say, I don't have any fancy in this. I've said this race is tough. I thought any one of 5 or 6 could win this. Most of them dropping in grade, having either ran well or won in better races. Not easy for me. Quite simple, really. They tried to land a bit of a tilt with that Liberate last time out, didn't they? It came second, but interesting that they tried to have a bit of a go with it. Crimson Roads on the 3-timer there. Babacious won a Class 5 at Epsom. I thought Bohemian Breeze, that ran in a Class 4 last time out, and it wasn't a bad run, but previous to that, bolted up a couple of times. Lots of course and distance form. So, yeah, that race for me was virtually impossible. So, no, certainly wouldn't be playing in that. I don't know if you had any thoughts on it, but
No, I was like you. I thought there was quite a few possibilities there.
yeah,
There's horses coming into it with winning form. There's horses that have been running consistently well.
yeah,
It's
tough.
almost one of those where anything can happen, really.
Yeah, I couldn't have a play in there.
Although I wouldn't necessarily be fancying the old Twilight Guest, I must admit.
No, I think that one's probably gonna be. You could probably they're probably going to be trailing in last. I would have thought.
Yeah, I'll tell you what is interesting as well is this Star Mind, Danny O'Leary riding,
Yeah,
isn't it? Because that what that tells you is quite clearly they do fancy Blue Anthem to book Billy. Otherwise, you would expect Danny, who I can only assume is a relation to Gerard,
yeah,
would ride.
yeah. That's kind of what I came down on as well. And when I went through the form of Starmind, I couldn't really find reasons as to why it might, you know, why it might do some damage. So I thought the same as you as well. If they were really keen, I'm quite surprised. Really, it's a funny one, isn't it? Like you say, Danny O'Leary must have a that they must be relations of some sort. And yeah, it kind of made me think as well. They're obviously very keen on the other thing, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, okie dokie. So that was that one, and then in the 4:30, I've got a little bit of an interest here. That's a boom or bust. It did take some finding, but small interest. I've said Down Malley is a bit of a boom or bust, but might have a better chance than his forecast odds of 16s suggest. He's a course and distance winner, and this yard won this race last year. So could be a coincidence, but also could be a target. He he's actually won over the course and distance there. Sorry, and then he's into a 0 to 55 for the first time and dropping down from a Class 5 at Sandown in a race which I actually didn't think he ran too badly. In fact, I thought he was staying on nicely from a very unpromising position. So he caught my eye. The time before that, he ran here over 7 furlongs behind Dion Baker, who was in flying form, having won 5 out of 6 races. And Prefer the Sister was in second and was £7 well in for bolting up the time before that. She has won twice after that too. So the fact Down Malley was finishing well in third that day says she's hitting a bit of form. A small play at double figure odds from my perspective. I've said here's Sadie and River Wharf are 2 horses that have won for me recently and have good chances, but their odds tell us that. Yeah, a little bit interested here in this Down Malley. I don't actually think either of his runs in the last two have been particularly bad. And I think maybe back up to the mile here in a 0 to 55 at a huge price forecast. If you wanted to have a small play in a bad race, I couldn't put you off at 16s there.
Yeah, no, it's interesting that their trainer's going really well at the moment as well. Anything he runs is running at least how you'd expect them to, if not better, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, a huge price. Honestly, those two runs in the context of this race are actually not bad. Like I say, when you go down the form line behind Beyond Baker and the Prefer the Sister there for the James Owen yard, it's actually working out pretty well, bearing in mind that Dion was rated 63 in that race and is now rated 73. Prefer the Sister was rated 58 in there and is now rated 65. And having won twice on the bounce there. So I think it was quite a good run, and he's actually doing all his best work in the finish. And like I say, course and distance winner. And if you go and watch its race back live at some last time out, I actually thought he really was doing all the best work at the finish and was, detached. They got detached out the back of the field. So I don't think the pedal was to the metal. And the day that this horse won over the course and distance, it wasn't a bad run in the context of this race. And in fact, even last year, ran a couple of decent races, placed second behind Desperate Dan, for instance, in a Class 4 at Windsor. I mean, on those sort of runs, you would have a good chance in a 0 to 55. I mean, River Wharf obviously has a chance, but I mean, that went and won a classified event and then finished third in the classified event where you picked a winner, actually, didn't you? And, it's got Billy on, so a big upgrade, but, a little bit interesting, that's all.
Yeah. Slightly harder race today for River Wharf, like you say, coming out of classifieds and whatever. And the only thing I'd have to throw in there would be, I suspect it'll be a big price, and if it wasn't, I'd be not interested at all. Celtic John.
Yep.
Just mainly the yard are going pretty well at the moment. The last two runners have won. One of them at 20 plus 1.
Yeah.
And the other one, Charles Morin, the other day at Lingfield. So the yard are in pretty decent form at the moment. He's run a couple of okay races at the track. Possible he might want to get his toe in a little bit. So maybe this will be too quick for him. Because he seemed to get outpaced when he ran over the mile here before. But he'll certainly be coming home, I would have thought, if he's in touch a couple of furlongs out. It wouldn't be one I'd go mad on, and I'm not even sure I'd back it, to be honest. But just took my eye a tiny bit with the yard going okay.
Yeah. Okie dokie. All right, so there's a couple to keep an eye on in there. And then I've written a spiel about the 5 o'clock as well. I wasn't lying when I said I had everything down for Brighton here, mate.
Yeah, you've barely missed a runner, let alone a race.
No, here we go, exactly.
Good work.
Yeah, I said the 5 o'clock Kondratiev Wave is interesting, dropping into a 0 to 55 with Billy booked. Having ran in 0 to 65s the last twice over a mile, back here over course and distance, he's won twice at looks to be a good move. And seeing as there doesn't appear to be much pace in the race, this prominent runner could sing them a merry dance at a forecast price of 8s. Mr. Sandman I find quite stinky, and I'm sure they will land a tilt with him at some point, so I'll be watching him in the market. And maybe more so, I'll be watching Nautical Sky. First time out for James Owen, and Kieran Fallon's come here for one ride, the last. Could be a bit of a pointer. Seemingly, she doesn't have much chance, but it wouldn't surprise me with this yard if she got punted and jumped out of the ground. Watch the market. I mean, the fact Fallon's turning up there for one ride, surely he could have got rides elsewhere, Windsor or whatever. I mean, I'm absolutely shocked that he's turning up to ride in this last race on seemingly a donkey. Pieces on first time. I mean, I'd just be interested to see how it went in the market, really.
Yeah, it is interesting. It caught my eye for sure. It's still lightly raced, isn't it?
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
And did run well on handicap debut, didn't it? For James Ferguson.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Second at Wolverhampton. So there's a little bit of ability in there.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I mean, he does do work wonders with these things, doesn't he? They have got another horse running earlier on, haven't they? The Owen Yard, and he's not riding it, and you just think, I find it absolutely amazing if James phoned up Kieran and said, "I'll tell you what, mate, do you want to get yourself 150 quid, mate? Get over to Brighton later on, last race. It's all right, mate. You'll only sit on the traffic for a couple of hours on the way home." You know, you just sort of think, why would he even bother turning up for it? He could have just chucked, I think it's Christian Howarth or something's riding the other one earlier. They'd have just stuck him on there, wouldn't they?
Yeah, you would have thought so. Yeah, it is a little bit interesting for sure, especially if there's a move for it in the market.
Yeah, I mean, it's very odd to me. Like I say, Kieran's going so well this year. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he needs to turn up for one ride at Brighton to fall out the back of the telly.
No.
I mean,
no.
On all known form, I'm most interested in Kondratiev Wave, but you know, I wouldn't be rushing for him until I knew what Nautical Sky was potentially going to do after a 48-day break. If she's had the jungle juice, then could be absolutely thundering. But we will see. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? But anyway, that's all I've got to say, really. So if you've got nothing else to go with there, Max, we'll call that a day.
Yeah, I was just going to say, in that race as well, I thought Girls Aloud was a tiny bit interesting. Ran in a bad race the last day and was only just beat. So would probably still need to improve again. But cheap pieces on first time, lightly raced, from the Burkett Yard, who generally their horses go quite well here at Brighton.
Yeah.
I thought that was a tiny bit interesting as well, but it wasn't one I'd back and it wasn't one I'd tip either. It was one I'd watch to see how it ran.
Yeah. Okie dokie. All right then. Well, thanks for listening and see you tomorrow. Okay, so that just about wraps everything up for today. Thanks for listening to today's analysis. If you found it useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss our daily race previews. For our exclusive early analysis before the markets open, visit gallopinggurus.com and become a member today. We mostly rely on people's kindness to donate for our hard work, so if you feel like you got something out of our analysis or out of our content, please don't hesitate to go to the gallopinggurus.com website and hit that donate button. No matter how big or small, we appreciate your support. Be lucky, everyone. Enjoy the racing, and we'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao for now.